She thought I would never find out, but one message changed everything. I still remember the exact moment everything began to change. It wasn't loud. There was no argument. No dramatic scene. Just silence. A kind of silence that slowly grows between two people who once couldn't stop talking. My wife, Aisha, used to tell me everything: what she ate, who she met, even the smallest details of her day. But over time, those conversations faded into short replies. Nothing much. I'm just tired. It was a normal day. At first, I didn't think much of it. People change. Life gets busy. But deep down, something didn't feel right. Crescent moon, the first sign. It started with her phone. She used to leave it anywhere: on the table, on the bed, sometimes even in my hands. But now, it was always with her. Always locked. Always face down. And always buzzing at odd hours. One night, I woke up around 2 a.m. The room was dim, but I could see her sitting at the edge of the bed, typing quickly. When she noticed I was awake, she immediately locked her phone. "Who is it?" I asked. "Just a friend," she replied, avoiding eye contact. That was the first time I felt it. That sharp, uncomfortable feeling in my chest. Thought balloon, doubt begins. Days turned into weeks. Her behavior kept changing. She started dressing better, even when she said she was just going out for errands. She smiled more at her phone than she did with me. And worst of all, she stopped looking at me the same way. I kept telling myself I was overthinking. Trust her, I said to myself. She's your wife. But trust, once shaken, becomes fragile. Mobile phone, the message that changed everything. It happened on a random afternoon. She had left her phone at home for the first time in months. I wasn't planning to check it. I swear. But then, a message popped up on the screen. "I miss you already, Redheart." My heart froze. My hands trembled. For a moment, I just stared at the screen, hoping it was some kind of misunderstanding. But curiosity, or maybe fear, took over. I unlocked the phone. And what I saw destroyed me. Broken heart, the hidden truth. There were hundreds of messages. Late night conversations. Photos. Voice notes. Plans to meet. Promises. Words she hadn't said to me in years, she was saying to someone else. My chest felt heavy, like I couldn't breathe. I wasn't angry. Not yet. I was broken. Completely broken. Balance scale, the silent decision. When she came home that evening, she smiled like nothing had happened. "Hey," she said softly. I looked at her. Really looked at her. And for the first time, I felt like I didn't know her. I didn't shout. I didn't accuse her. Instead, I just asked one simple question. "Is there something you want to tell me?" For a second, just a second, her face changed. Fear. Guilt. Panic. But then, she smiled again. And said, "No." Why? That was the moment I realized something important. She wasn't just cheating. She was choosing to lie. Brain the truth about lies. People think cheating is the biggest betrayal. It's not. The real betrayal is looking someone in the eyes and lying to them, knowing the truth could destroy them. And still choosing to lie. Fire, the beginning of the end. That night, I didn't sleep. I didn't cry. I didn't even confront her. I just thought. About everything. About us. About the years we spent together. And about the man I was becoming, someone who ignored the truth just to avoid pain. But I knew one thing for sure. This story wasn't over yet. And the truth she tried to hide was about to come out. That night felt endless. I lay beside her, staring at the ceiling, while she slept peacefully, or at least pretended to. Every breath she took felt heavier to me. Every second, louder. How could someone lie so calmly? How could someone share a life with you, and still betray you like this? New moon the morning after. Morning came, but it didn't bring clarity. Only reality. She stood in front of the mirror, getting ready, humming softly like everything was normal. Like nothing had changed. Like she hadn't shattered my world just hours ago. "Do you want tea?" she asked casually. That question. It broke something inside me. Because it sounded so normal. Too normal. I looked at her and said quietly, "We need to talk." Warning the first crack. She froze. Just for a second. But I saw it. That moment of fear flashing across her face. "What happened?" she asked, trying to sound calm. I stood up slowly. My hands were steady. My voice, even calmer than hers. "Who is he?" Silence. Pure silence. The kind that makes your heart pound louder than any noise. She blinked. "Who?" she asked. That one word. It confirmed everything. Fire the lies begin. "Don't do that," I said, my voice slightly breaking now. "Don't pretend like you don't know." "I really don't understand what you're talking about," she replied. Her acting was perfect. Almost convincing. If I hadn't seen the messages myself, I might have believed her. I took a deep breath. Then I said, "I saw your phone." Everything stopped. Collision: truth versus denial. Her face went pale. Her lips parted slightly. But still. She tried. "It's not what you think," she said quickly. That sentence. The most common lie. The most predictable defense. I almost laughed. "Then what is it?" I asked. She hesitated. And in that hesitation, I saw the truth fighting to come out. But lies are easier, aren't they? Crying faced the emotional explosion. "It didn't mean anything," she said finally. Those words hit harder than anything else. Didn't mean anything? Months of messages. Late. Night talks. Promises. Didn't mean anything? I felt something inside me snap. Didn't mean anything? I repeated. My voice was louder now. Not angry. But hurt. Deeply hurt. "I gave you everything," I said. "My time. My trust. My life. And you're telling me it meant nothing?" Ice cubed the cold truth. She started crying. Tears rolled down her cheeks as she tried to hold my hand. "It just happened," she whispered. I pulled my hand away. No anger. No shouting. Just distance. Because at that moment, I realized something important. The person I loved would never do this. Which means, she wasn't that person anymore. Brain the mind game. "I was lonely," she said. "I felt like you didn't understand me anymore." That hurt. Because part of me knew. Maybe I had changed too. Maybe life had made me distant. But does that justify betrayal? No. Never. "You could have talked to me," I said quietly. "I tried," she replied. But her voice lacked conviction. Because deep down, she knew. Talking isn't the same as cheating. Balance scale the turning point. I walked to the window. Looked outside. People were living their lives. Laughing. Moving forward. And there I was. Stuck in a moment I never saw coming. "Do you love him?" I asked without turning back. Silence again. Longer this time. Heavier. More painful. And then, a whisper. I don't know. Broken heart, the final break. That was it. Not no. Not denial. Not regret. Just, I don't know. And in that moment, everything ended. Not loudly. Not dramatically. But quietly. Like a candle going out in the dark. Luggage the decision. I turned around. Looked at her one last time. The same woman I once loved more than anything. And I said, I think you should go. Her eyes widened. What? I need space, I said calmly. And you need to decide what you really want. She started crying harder. Please, don't do this, she begged. But I had already made my decision. Not out of anger, but out of self-respect. Cloud with rain walking away. She packed her things slowly. Every sound felt heavy. Every movement, final. At the door, she stopped. Turned back. I'm sorry, she said. I looked at her. And for the first time, I didn't feel love. I felt peace. A painful peace. Fire, but the story isn't over. Because sometimes, the person who lies eventually faces the truth. And when that happens, regret hits harder than any consequence. She thought she could hide everything. She thought she could control the situation. But life has its own way of exposing the truth. The house felt empty after she left. Not quiet. Empty. There's a difference. Silence can be peaceful. But emptiness? It echoes. Cloud with rain days without her. The first few days were the hardest. Not because I missed her, but because I missed who I thought she was. Memories played in my mind like a loop. Her laughter. Her voice. The way she used to look at me. And then, the messages. The lies. The truth. And suddenly, those memories didn't feel warm anymore. They felt fake. Brain, the reality sets in. People think heartbreak is loud. But it's not. It's quiet. It's sitting alone, staring at nothing. Thinking about everything. I didn't call her. I didn't text. Because sometimes, closure doesn't come from answers. It comes from acceptance. Telephone receiver, the call I didn't expect. About 2 weeks later, my phone rang. It was her. For a moment, I just stared at the screen. Then I answered. Hello? Her voice was different. Weak. Broken. I need to talk to you, she said. Collision, the truth comes full circle. We met at a small cafe. The same place we used to go before everything changed. But this time, nothing felt the same. She looked tired. Her eyes swollen. Like she hadn't slept in days. I made a mistake, she said immediately. I didn't respond. Because I already knew. Balance scale karma arrives quietly. He left me, she said. I looked at her. Not surprised. Not shocked. Just calm. He said he was never serious, she continued, her voice shaking. He just wanted something temporary. Temporary. That word carried so much irony. Because she destroyed something permanent. For something temporary. Crying face, regret hits hardest. I lost everything, she whispered. I lost you. Tears rolled down her face. Real tears this time. Not excuses. Not manipulation. Just regret. But here's the truth about regret. It always comes late. Ice Cube, the man I became. I loved you, I said quietly. And that's why this hurts. She looked at me with hope. But I can't go back, I continued. Her expression shattered. Why? She asked. Fire. The most important lesson. Because trust isn't something you rebuild with words, I said. It's built with actions, over time. And you didn't just break it. You replaced it. Silence filled the space between us. Heavy. Final. Man walking, letting go. She reached for my hand. But I didn't move. Not out of anger. But because I had finally learned something important. Love without respect is just pain. I hope you find peace, I said. And I meant it. Because holding on to hate only destroys you. Sunrise and new beginning. I walked away that day. Not broken. Not angry. But stronger. Because sometimes the worst experiences teach you the most valuable lessons. Weeks turned into months. And slowly, life started to feel normal again. Lightbulb final truth. One day, I realized something. She didn't destroy my life. She revealed the truth. And the truth set me free. Pushpin life lesson. Trust is earned, not demanded. Lies don't protect relationships, they destroy them. Temporary feelings can lead to permanent consequences. Self-respect is more important than holding on to someone who hurts you. Sometimes losing someone is actually winning yourself back. Fire. Sometimes the truth doesn't just hurt. It saves you from a lifetime of lies.